Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for faithfully watching videos from our channel. We always pray that you are always healthy and happy always. Don't forget to always support our channel so that we are more enthusiastic about making the next videos. Let's get started. When Aunt Daisy was younger, she was the kind of person who radiated energy. Full of life, with a laugh that could light up a room, she was always the one making plans, organizing adventures, and bringing everyone together. Whether it was hiking up a mountain or organizing a surprise birthday party, Daisy was the heartbeat of her family and friends. One fateful day, when she was just a teenager, everything changed. It was a bright summer afternoon, the kind where the sky seemed to stretch forever. Daisy was riding her bike, racing down a hill with her friends, her hair flying in the wind. The world felt like it was at her feet until, in the blink of an eye, it all came crashing down. A sudden accident. A sharp turn, a moment of misjudgment, and before she knew it, Daisy was lying on the ground, unable to move her legs. She was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors confirmed what no one could have expected. Daisy had suffered a spinal cord injury, leaving her paralyzed from the waist down. Her life, as she had known it, was forever altered. The first few days were a blur, full of tests, surgeries, and discussions with doctors. Daisy couldn't understand it. How could this happen? She had so many plans. She was supposed to finish school, go to college, travel the world. But now, things were different. At first, there was a heavy silence in her mind, as she tried to make sense of what had happened. How would she move forward? What kind of life would she have now? But Daisy was never one to let anything stop her for long. Even as she lay in her hospital bed, surrounded by machines and tubes, a flicker of her old determination began to ignite. She wasn't going to let this define her. She wouldn't let this be the end of her story. The struggles and triumphs of recovery. The first few months were difficult. Daisy had to learn everything all over again. Simple things that most people take for granted, like getting out of bed, dressing herself, or brushing her teeth, became major challenges. She spent long hours in physical therapy, working hard every day, pushing herself to regain strength in her arms and learn how to use a wheelchair. It was exhausting, both physically and emotionally. Some days, Daisy felt like giving up. There were moments when the weight of it all felt too much to bear. It wasn't just her body that had been hurt, it was her dreams, her sense of freedom, her vision of the future. But she never stayed down for long. Her family, friends, and even the therapists could see the fire in her eyes. She was determined to rebuild. Daisy made a vow to herself, she would not let this define her. It wasn't easy, but slowly, she began to find a new rhythm. Her world was smaller, yes, but that didn't mean it had to be any less vibrant. She began to rediscover her passions. She started painting, something she had always loved but never had enough time for before. She took up writing, pouring her thoughts and feelings into journals and stories. And she began to find new ways to connect with people, to use her voice and her story to inspire others. A day in the life. By the time Daisy had fully adjusted to her new reality, her life had developed a new routine, one that was different but full of purpose. Every morning, she would wake up to a new day, filled with both challenges and small victories. Her family helped her with the first part of the day, getting out of bed, into her chair, and ready for the day ahead. But as soon as she was in her wheelchair, Daisy took over. She had learned to do everything herself, from brushing her hair to making her breakfast. And though it wasn't always easy, she took great pride in her independence. She worked hard at keeping her body strong. Every day, there were stretches and exercises, building her upper body strength, improving her posture, and maintaining the flexibility that would help her navigate the world. Daisy had learned to embrace these physical challenges, finding joy in every small milestone. She was able to go out into the world more easily now, using a custom van that had been adapted for her needs. Going out with friends or family to a park, or to the beach, or simply getting a cup of coffee in the city became the small joys that filled her days. Of course, there were still hard days. There were still moments of grief, where Daisy missed her old life, and the pain of loss crept in. There were times when she would feel frustrated, when simple things became obstacles, when the world felt too narrow. But Daisy knew the secret to resilience. She allowed herself to feel those emotions, but she didn't let them hold her back. With each challenge, she found a new way forward. She became involved in advocacy work for people with disabilities, using her story to fight for greater accessibility in her community. She volunteered at local centers, encouraging others who had suffered similar injuries to keep pushing forward. Her determination was contagious, and soon, she became a mentor for younger people who had gone through accidents, showing them that a full and meaningful life was still possible. Family and support. Throughout all of this, Daisy was never alone. Her family, friends, and loved ones were by her side every step of the way. They had to adjust, too. But they didn't view Daisy as someone with limitations. They saw her for who she really was, a fierce, passionate woman who had only grown stronger in the face of adversity. Her relationship with her parents, siblings, and friends deepened, as they all navigated this new world together. They didn't treat Daisy differently, though they made sure she had the support she needed. They didn't pity her, they admired her strength. And Daisy, in turn, leaned on them in ways that made their bond even more unbreakable. Aunt Daisy's journey was not an easy one, but it was one filled with moments of triumph, growth, and love. She learned that while her body had changed, her spirit hadn't. She found new ways to live, new dreams to chase, and a new purpose in helping others find their own strength. Through everything, Aunt Daisy remained the vibrant, unstoppable woman she had always been, her courage and resilience shining brighter than ever. Her story is one of transformation.